Shalom. All praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem, Yahushua Ba'Shem Rakakwadash. This is y&ymission. I'd like to give double honors to apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. y&ymission teaches the 100% truth at GMS. I just want to bring out some video about this flooding that happened in Maryland and some scriptures. All right.
I took care of the top half, so it should cut back on that.
Yeah, well, it's this far, but this far from the other. Floating.
Yeah, it is floating.
Oh yeah. And look at my arm.
Hold on a second.
What are you doing?
Taking a video.
A flash flood emergency was declared in western Maryland Tuesday after heavy rain from a slow-moving storm caused rapid and dangerous flooding. Emergency officials said it's the worst the region has experienced in nearly 30 years. Communities already soaked from earlier rain were hit hard again, worsening the situation.
We should probably go before we can't.
Yeah.
We need to go before we can't get out of here.
In towns like Westernport, Luke and Barton rainfall totals reached between 2.5 to 5 inches within hours, with additional rain forecast to fall. The National Weather Service warned of life-threatening floods sweeping across low-lying roads and urban areas. Small creeks and rivers quickly overflowed, submerging underpasses and neighborhoods.
That's the alley behind Fort West.
All right, so as you can see, Mosai is destroying the Edomites, okay, destroying their land, their property, okay, the cities and whatnot, out in western Maryland, okay. So the Luke 17:26, and as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man, okay. So, right, all right, Yahushua is on his way, and calamities, okay, famines, plagues, pestilences, flooding, different things, okay, are taking hold again for the second time, okay. Now, remember, we know that Yahweh has made the covenant with the rainbow that he will not flood the earth totally like he did in the first. He will not flood the earth like he did in the first destruction. Okay, so we do know that, but nevertheless, there's still going to be a lot of the same things that happened in past destructions and with past nations and countries and whatnot, or cities and whatnot. He's doing it all over again, but in a major way this time, especially to where? Babylon the Great, aka America, okay? So things are happening just like I did in the days of Noah, okay? Psalms 107:25, for he commandeth and raiseth the stormy wind, which lifteth up the waves thereof. Right, okay, so Yahweh has command over the storms, okay, the winds, okay, and the waves, all right, that lifted up from the rivers. Okay, he's sending this as a judgment Okay, he's destroying the Edomites and destroying their towns and their villages and cities and things that they have in a cut. Okay, so Yahweh is doing this. Okay, Acts 17:30. Okay, 17:30. And the times of this ignorance, Yahweh winked at, but now commandeth all men everywhere to repent. Right, and it's time for Yahweh to work. Okay, he sent the prophets out. The prophets are out there on the highways and byways, on the information superhighway, which is the internet. Okay, and they've been speaking on behalf of Yahweh. Okay, and representing Yahweh and Yahweh Shah here. Okay, and trying to warn the nations, as so the 2/3. Okay, the undesirables. Okay, of the house of Israel. Okay, and to let them know that they either need to come back and repent, change their ways, or they will be destroyed. Okay, there's no saving the heathens. Okay, the so-called whites. Okay, you Arabs. Okay, you Chinese, Moab. Okay, you Japanese, Ammonites, and you Africans, Ham. We also know that it's speckled birds. Okay, and Israelites in those that may look like the other nations, but aren't technically through spirit or the bloodline. Okay, but still, the warning has went out by the prophets. Okay, so he winked at your ignorance, but now it's time for everybody to repent everywhere. Okay, and that is the one of the jobs as men of the Lord, servants of the Lord, is to send this warning out to all the nations to try to gather as many fish in the net as possible. Okay, and then Yahweh and Yahweh Shah will dictate who stays and what fish get thrown back in the water. Okay, literally. All right. Psalms 93:3. The floods have lifted up, O Lord. Okay. O Yahweh, the floods have lifted up their voice. Right. The floods lift up their waves. Right. And you can see the floods destroying the embankments. Okay. Overflowing, flooding. They're getting into the buildings of commercial use. You see that lady walking out there saying they have to get out. People's homes. Okay. Cars are floating. Okay, they've lifted up their voice. Okay, this is judgment from the Lord. All right, for you, to you heathens. Okay, Amos 8:8. Okay, shall not the land tremble for this? Right, the land is trembling. Okay, you can see people just videotaping, recording. That's the only thing they can do. They tremble for this, and everyone mourneth that dwelleth therein. Right. So the people that live over in that area, okay, are mourning. Okay, their stuff is being destroyed. Who the hell is going to replace all that? Who has money right now in these times? Okay, to just replace. Okay, their insurance might not even cover that. Okay, and it shall rise up. Okay, rise up wholly as a flood. Right, the water. Okay, and it shall be cast out and drowned as by the flood of Egypt. Okay, right. So these people are drowning. Okay, they're literally going to be drowning in debt, physically drowning. Okay, their pets drown if they have animals. Different things got out or may not come back. Okay, so they're going to mourn. Okay, these flood waters have risen and they have rise. Okay, all right. This is judgment from the Lord. Okay, people are going to be terribly and trembly and mad. Okay. They're going to have to ultimately leave those places, okay? Not to mention the aftermath of mildew, the different diseases and whatnot, okay? Just like in Egypt in the past, okay? Like I said, it's the second destruction, all right? Jeremiah 47:2. Thus saith Yahweh, behold, waters rise up out of the north, right, and shall be an overflowing flood. Right, that's north. Okay, this is North America, North Country. Okay, overflowing flood and shall overflow the land. Right, so the crops, everything is being destroyed, overflowing the land coming out of the rivers and lakes around there. different creeks and whatnot. They're overflowing, and all that is thereof, okay? The city and them that dwell therein. Then the men shall cry, and all the inhabitants of the land shall howl. Right, they're going to be crying, howling, whining, okay? The heathens are going to be utterly destroyed, okay? Just with floods alone, okay? The Most High is doing this, okay? Thus saith what? The Lord, okay? So this is him doing this, all right? Overflowing and destroying everything, all right? Isaiah 28:2, behold, the Lord have a mighty and strong one, which as a tempest of hell and a destroying storm, right, as a flood of mighty waters overflowing, shall cast down to the earth with the hand, okay? So Yahweh Shah's hand is strong. That counsel is to what? Destroy the heathen, okay? Those ultimately Yahweh and Yahweh Shah's enemies, okay? And they have a strong, mighty hand, okay, that they're laying a smack down on, okay, all these different nations, particularly starting with Esau, okay? This is his kingdom. He's in charge right now. He's the man that's going to be left holding the bag, so to speak, when Yahweh Shah pulls up, and he will be ultimately destroyed. So all his towns, cities, okay, villages, okay, different small areas, that pockets that he's in, okay, out of the way rural places, okay, are going to be destroyed, just like how they were in North Carolina, okay? It's happening in Maryland, and it's going to continue to happen to other states and pockets that he is in, or majority in, okay? So I just wanted to bring that out, all right?
Subway parking lot. Church Street. All your first responders doing the hard work.
All right, so yeah, Esau is pretty much through right now. So with that, I like to say all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shah, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Shalom.